I put Fangio and Senna together, and then I'd come down quite a way. Then I would probably Jimmy Clark, yeah. But he didn't do so many different types of cars. But then after that, then I reckon I'd wait a bit just to see, but I think he has certainly beginning to show that he should be up there, yeah.
And he has about another 10 years in the business, so there's no rush.
Probably another $200 or $300 million
pounds.
Yes.
You didn't mention Nigel Mansell in all that.
No, I didn't actually.
No, that's strange.
No, but Nigel to me was one of those guys who was great for the sport because he would have a go. I mean, you know, but he wasn't. I didn't think at the time he won it. I don't think he was the best in the world. I mean, he had a lot of other good people in there at the time. I mean, Senna included. So I don't know. I don't think he was up with that lot. No.
But credit where credit's due. He had a lot of faults, our Nigel. But coming back to what we were saying about Damon earlier, at least Nigel was undisputably a racer.
Oh yeah. Oh, you always had fun. I mean, he was. I mean, you get. What always amused me about him, he'd go round after the races, you may know, and stop the motorcycle, take him on the lap of honour, get off and kiss the ground where he passed him. Was it Nelson or somebody? Which you know is showbiz, isn't it?
Absolutely. Talk us through. You've talked through the greats of all time, but of the also rans today, and that's really with respect to everybody other than Schumacher out there. That's all they are. All the while there's a Schumacher around. The rest of them are strictly second division material, it seems to me. By comparison.
Yeah.
So, how do you rate the likes of Villeneuve, Hill, Hakkinen,
well,
Berger,
Villeneuve is coming along. If you look at the history of motor racing, you suddenly hear about a guy, I mean, Jimmy, the same thing, and he goes on, he gets better and better. And usually, if they're really good, they keep going and they become world champion, probably. But then you get others who arrive and they're fantastic. You know, the Barrichello, if you remember, a while back. Been quite a few of them. Johnny Herbert before he shunned. I mean, there've been a lot of these guys who've come in and Coulthard, bless his heart. They come in, they're going like this, and then suddenly they level off. Very, very few men in my memory ever started to go up again. I can remember right through when I was racing, there were people who suddenly came and thought, "My God, this guy's fantastic," but then he just started to level off.
Let me throw a little theory of mine at you. Having met the likes of Michael Schumacher and Nigel and Damon and one or two others, I think there's got to be something in the ingredients, if you like, that's got to set you apart from the rest.
Yeah.
And if you look at Michael Schumacher, he's the perfect example of it. You've got to be a complete bastard. There's no point in going out there being Mr. Nice Guy. And Damon, let's face it, has been too nice in the past. You've got to be a ruthless animal. Yeah. You've got to be a machine. You've got to be an unctuous little git. And you've got to be a sort of Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any of those words actually towards Fangio. That's what sets him to me about all the others. Really, his ability was enormous, but he was not a little git. He was not. He wasn't in any way difficult.